like coming up in Wisconsin and seeing my friends that I can only see once a year, and all the unique trips and different activities that you can do in Camp Nebagamon.
To be in a cabin all summer is really fun. You get to be with all your friends.
I'm really into swimming. Swimming is the best for me.
I like to do a lot of stuff at camp, especially like basketball and soccer.
I love the waterfront activities like windsurfing and sailing. It's really fun because you can't do that at home.
The trips are a lot of fun.
I live out in Hong Kong, and you just don't get experiences like that out there. It was just amazing. All the wildlife we saw was incredible.
It's just really fun staying 8 weeks, and I'm having a really good time.
Camp Nebagamon is located in northwest Wisconsin. We're about 30 miles southeast of Duluth, Minnesota, and we're located right in the heart of the North Woods. Camp was founded in 1929 by Muggs and Janet Lorber. They ran it for many years until they passed it on to their daughter Sally and her husband Nardi, and they ran it for another 30 years. And then camp was bought by Roger and Judy Wallenstein, who've run it for the past 18 years. And then I got a phone call saying, you know that thing that you've always dreamed about, Adam, that thing that you've always wanted to be a part of your whole life? You want to come run Camp Nebagamon? And now Stephanie and I are the new directors of camp.
Camp is what made Adam who he is as a person. He knows what it's like to be a camper. He knows what it's like to be a staff member. He knows all the tricks in the books, and he knows, he just knows it. It's part of his being. Camp Nebagamon is part of Adam's being.
One of the things that I've always believed is if you take people and you put them together in some place beautiful, that beautiful things happen. Every day we've got 4 different activity periods, and instead of having a schedule that's handed to the boys, every morning each of the campers gets to make a choice about exactly what it is he wants to do with his day.
And there's a big project board where all of the different projects list what their activities are going to be during the day. So they will look at the project board and they will say, all right, this morning I'm going to go to swimming, and then I'm going to go to Camp Craft, and this afternoon I'm going to go to riflery, and then I'm going to go to photography. Everything from arts and crafts to swimming and sailing. We have sculling now, which is pretty fantastic.
Today I made peach cobbler with lots of fruit and ice cream and some Cool Whip. It was so good.
In our MOCA program, which stands for Masters of the Culinary Arts, the boys can learn to cook. We also have a nature program where they can learn all about the ecology and flora and fauna of the area, and a really good art program where the guys get a chance to pursue all their artistic interests.
I like to play speedball and football, field hockey. Everything's great.
Photography's pretty cool. You could go all around camp, discover new things, and take pictures of whatever you'd like to see. Just go right to the dark room, and anything you'd like, you just develop it.
There's numerous opportunities for singing and playing of musical instruments.
In a lot of the activities that we're offering here, we make sure that the people who are teaching those activities are people who are really experts in those areas.
We run target shooting, and they are to shoot for their ranks. They have to achieve a certain number of points per target, and as they accumulate over the summer, they earn their ranks. And it's a very popular project here at camp.
There's fishing, there's rowing, there's sailing, which a lot of people like. It's pretty fun.
I learned how to canoe, row, sail, fish, and it's definitely my favorite place to be is on the waterfront.
One of the things that we're focused on is offering the kids what we call lifetime skills. You can play tennis as a 12-year-old, and you can also play tennis as a 70-year-old. These are chances that the kids have to learn things that they can carry through with them and pursue their whole lives.
There you go.
My favorite thing to do at camp would be probably doing the trips.
Our tripping program is absolutely remarkable. We go all over the North Woods to the Boundary Waters and the Quetico and numerous hiking spots.
It's a lot of fun canoeing and hiking. Also, the biking trip to Madeline Island. That's a great trip. It's pretty hard, but so much fun. The views are amazing.
I have been 5 days on this trip to the Boundary Waters. It was very fun.
I went on a hiking trip to Isle Royale, and it was a 15-day trip. We saw a moose while we were hiking on the trail.
We had 2 canoes, and we carried everything we owned in it for 2 weeks. All our food, all our gear, everything. They just survived and lived out in the woods with no communication with the outside world for 2 weeks, and there's nothing more gratifying than that.
When they go out on trips, the counsellors don't have to do everything for them. They know exactly how to build a fire, like in 10 minutes flat, and they've got so many tripping skills. And it's sort of a gradual process where the more years they come here, the more skills they acquire.
Or smaller and smaller. Okay, that's measuring the elevation of a hill.
You grow really close to the people that are on your trip, and you just get to see a lot of cool stuff.
And the kids will look up and say, wow, you know, I didn't know there were this many stars. That's a unique thing.
We try to offer lots of special things throughout the weeks just to keep everything exciting and keep everything moving and interesting. In any week, you're liable to run across a talent show that we call GTC, which is a Good Time Charlie, or we'll have special events like cabin cookouts, where the whole cabin goes down and cooks a meal over an open fire together. They do that once a week. We've got village barbecues, where the villages all get together and cook their meal out there.
Sometimes we have ribs, chicken, hamburgers, hot dogs. It's cool to hang around with everyone in the village that you're in and maybe play some games and just hang out.
I've always said that despite the fact that we have a really beautiful piece of land here and a great structure to the camp and great programs, and we offer lots of really exciting things, that the strength of this place has always been the staff. There's about 240 boys at camp, and with those 240 boys, we have about 120 staff. So that gives us about a 2-to-1 staff ratio, which is something we're pretty darn proud of. There's a doctor here at camp 24 hours a day when the campers are here. And we've also got a nursing team of 3 people, one of whom is an RN and the other 2 are nursing assistants who have some medical training. Camp's divided into 4 villages, and these villages are divided up by age groups. So the youngest boy village is called the Swamper Village, and that's where you'll find your 3rd and 4th grade boys. And then we have the Logger Village, and that's 5th and 6th grade boys. We move on up to the Axeman Village, where there's 6th and 7th grade boys. And our oldest campers are called Lumberjacks, and those are boys who have finished the 8th and 9th grades. There'll be approximately 8 to 10 boys per cabin, and then they'll have 2 counselors living with them inside the cabin.
I've never been to a place that had such a high concentration of just amazing, amazing people working here. It's those sort of quiet moments, the quality moments that you get where if you're just sitting and playing cards with a camper or something. That's the kind of stuff I remember from when I was a camper, that one-on-one interaction.
Oh, counseling is pure heaven. It's a blast. I come up here summer after summer because the friendships you're able to make up here as a counselor with both the campers and your fellow staff members are incredible. The kids are just so much fun to work with. The energy is always abundant.
We like to say we're not a teacher, we're not their parents. We want them to have fun, but at the same time, obviously, we have to keep some order of discipline. So we like to think of them maybe as being like our little brothers who are trying to guide through.
A lot of these kids, they do have big brothers or big sisters back home, and they're not able to be at camp with them. So we kind of take that role, and it's a really rewarding job, and it brings back the staff year after year after year, and I've really enjoyed my time here at Nebagamon a lot.
It was really fun to grow up here, and it's really very rewarding as a counselor because I've been here for so long. To the kids that I have in my cabin now, I've known since they were in 5th grade, and it's really, really cool to watch them grow up and change and mature. I feel like this place made me really who I am and instilled really, really good values as far as, you know, treating people nicely and the way they should be treated.
I think the real strong point of Camp Nebagamon is the values that are both modeled by our counselors and the other staff around here and just nurtured in the kids and explained in council fires and in Sunday services, teaching kids about friendship and loyalty, about independence, about learning to depend on each other, about how we treat each other with respect, about how we're inclusive, we're not an exclusive group. Sign up at the big house, this is a place of welcome for all. I mean, that says it all, and this camp lives and breathes that. That's what makes Nebagamon a really special place.
A Sunday service is a non-religious, non-denominational gathering of camp where we talk about values. So a senior member of our staff will stand up in front of camp and talk about something that's important to them. On Sunday evenings, we have something that we call a council fire, and this is another opportunity that we take advantage of to share with the boys some kind of values education. And oftentimes these are funny, but they always have a really important message that they're getting across to the guys. And so a staff member will put together usually a series of skits about a topic that's of importance to them, something that's meaningful to them.
Council fires are great. It's sort of a new way to make like friendships.
The thing that sold me on Nebagamon, the thing that really made me understand why this place was such a great place, was the council fires, and particularly the key logs at the council fires. They do that by taking this little piece of wood that they get at the beginning of the council fire, and it's the campers and staff who are thanking other people for something that's really touched them during the summer. At the end of the fire, they put their key log on the fire, and then all those key logs, these little pieces of wood, reignite the fire. It's like everyone's warmth and love rebuilds the fire.
Some people were thanking their cabin and their counselors and their trip staff for helping them on the trip, so that's mostly like they just thank people for what they've done.
For a large number of our boys here, the council fire is the high point of the week. It's the thing that they look forward to more than anything else, because not only are they most likely going to laugh out there, but they're really going to learn something and feel good leaving.
One of the main things that's really special about Nebagamon is its tradition. When I came to camp 7 years ago, I didn't know anything. I didn't know any of the slang and the camp words and the tradition that surrounds Camp Nebagamon. And my first day I walked into the rec hall and I looked on the wall and I saw big trip plaques dating back to the 40s, and I saw pictures all over the wall of Muggs and Janet Lorber.
I think one of the really neat things about the place is its sense of history, and we talk often here about the camp family, and it means that everyone who comes through and walks by Paul Bunyan is a member of our family. And one of the great things is, as director of camp, is I get a chance to meet all these guys and form relationships with all the staff and campers that come into camp and really get to know them. And the truth is that when it's all said and done here, we really do feel like we're a family. When a boy comes to camp here, he'll come with a set of goals. And some of these will be goals that he wants to accomplish in terms of skill. He wants to learn to sail, he wants to learn to canoe, and he wants to become a better tennis player. But they also come with some kind of intangible goals, be they independence or leadership or making new friends or just plain having a good time. You hear all the time from parents about their boy getting off the plane and just looking different, looking more confident, acting more confident, feeling better about themselves, being more independent. They do a lot of growing up here. And at the same time that they're doing a lot of growing up, they're doing a lot of acting like kids and having a lot of fun too. One of my core beliefs is that everyone is entitled to, in their life, some place that is magic. Some place that they can look back at their time on and say, boy, that was really perfect. That was a magical experience for me. And I've always believed that Nebagamon is that kind of a place. And from what I see from our boys here, we're creating that magical place for them, and they're having that magical experience here.